You are Locked On Red Sox POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Boston, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, the Red Sox, 3 pitches into Sunday series finale at Dodger Stadium, led 2-0 against James Paxton and the Dodgers. Kutter Crawford gave up 5 home runs. Kenley Jansen gave up a big fly in the 8th inning, and the Red Sox now heading to Denver after losing all 3 in Los Angeles. Welcome into our latest edition of the Locked On Red Sox Postcast. I'm Steve Lennox, veteran play-by-play announcer, calling over 1,000 games in the minors. Spent one glorious Saturday afternoon in the show calling Padres-Dodgers at Dodger Stadium for ESPN's national radio broadcast. That a couple of summers ago. I was on Lobster Lake in Maine when the Red Sox acquired David Henderson and Spike Owen from the Mariners in August of 1986. We are providing reaction to every Red Sox game on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, as well as the Locked On Red Sox podcast feed, which is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. We do want to hear from you. We want to hear from our everydayers. We want to hear from our first-timers as well. Join the conversation. Watching live right now with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Click on the comment button. Introduce yourself. Did you miss seeing Mookie Betts play for the Dodgers this weekend against his former team, the Red Sox? Our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast. We're going to talk about the Sox being a bit in a funk right now. And in case you didn't notice, Rafael Devers also with a sluggish series as well at Dodger Stadium. Not a good night for Kutter Crawford. Not a good night for Kenley Jansen. More numbers on Jarren Duran and what might have been for a brand new Hall of Famer with the Dodgers or the Red Sox. That's coming up as well. Our latest edition of the Locked On Red Sox postcast brought to you by Prize Picks. The easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports, go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use code LockedOnMLB, all lowercase, for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB for a first time deposit match up to $100. So starting this off, I kind of get the feeling that the Red Sox and Dodgers could actually still be playing. Romy Gonzalez, first pitch of the game, double off James Paxton. Jarren Duran on an 0-1 pitch, home run, 2-0 ball game, right? We'll get into the home runs. But in the bottom of the 8th inning, Kenley Jansen gives up a 3-spot, working in his second straight game, working at Dodger Stadium, where he started his career with the Dodgers. And he gives up a 3-spot, including a 2-out, 2-run home run to Jason Hayward. That made it 9-3. And it proved to be big because the Red Sox do get 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning. They have to go to their closer, Daniel Hudson. Hudson gets the job done. So Duran, after a couple of base hits in front of him, delivers with a 2-run double. Later in the inning, he scores as well. But the Red Sox fall short in this one. Masa Yoshida, had a fielder's choice and a ground out in that 9th inning, and that scored Duran from third base to make it 9-6. And then Wilyer Abreu flied out for the final out of the ball game, and the Dodgers pick up the series sweep against the Red Sox. Red Sox swept in a series for the 3rd time this season, 2nd time this year on the road. But the home runs allowed by Kutter Crawford. He went 5 innings, gave up 6 total runs. Freddie Freeman got him in the 1st inning. Freeman, a 2-out solo home run. That made it a 2-1 ball game. 2 batters later, after a double, Gavin Lux, double, tie game 2-2. More home runs. All solo shots. Kutter Crawford gave up 5 home runs. Red Sox pitchers Crawford and Jansen in the 8th inning giving up 6 total. Right? Ohtani's home run to right field, 116.7 off the bat, went 473 feet. Now let's talk about Ohtani's home run. It was a majestic shot. One of the longest home runs in the history of Dodger Stadium. We can throw that all out there. But a tip of the cap to the cameraman on Ohtani's home run. Because in case you missed it, and Ohtani certainly did not miss it, Ohtani with an absolute blast. 473. But from the third base side, as they got the ball off the bat, that white baseball with the carrying in the air against that, let's not call it Dodger blue, but basically a Dodger blue sky right there. Somewhere up in heaven, maybe Tommy Lasorda was smiling. An absolute blast, but a great job by the camera operator and the director to get that one. That was big league right there. But Crawford, difficulty keeping the ball in the ballpark. He gave up 5 home runs in his outing. And Crawford, back-to-back 7 innings, no runs against the Marlins. And the Yankees in his previous 2 starts do, I guess, a little bit like Kenley Jansen on Saturday night. But Crawford, you could say to a certain degree, kept his team in the game. 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 5 solo home runs allowed. But it was Jansen in that 8th inning in a 3-run ball game gives up the 3 runs from 6-3 to 9-3. And you're thinking, okay, let Kenley Jansen get this out of his system, right? Couple of rough outings in Los Angeles. His return to Dodger Stadium where he started his big league career and his professional career as well with the Dodgers organization. But he gives up the 3 runs, and the Red Sox bats do come alive. After the 2 hits in the first inning, from the first 2 batters, 3 pitches in, there wasn't a whole heck of a lot of offense for the Red Sox against Dodgers pitching. I mean, they were making hitters look like, Koufax, Valenzuela, Kershaw over the last couple of days. Paxton is a good pitcher. Okay, he's been around for a long time. But you kind of had him on the ropes in that first inning. He threw almost 25 pitches in the inning, and you don't get to him. And 14 strikeouts total in the game. And I'll touch on this in segment number 2. And if you're with us live on our Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, hit the comment button. Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, Fox. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN TV. Carl Ravitch, David Cohn, and Eduardo Perez. Everyone has their thoughts on play-by-play announcers. Me being one of them. Wishful thinking to some degree there. But what did you think of the analysts? Hit us up if you're with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Or you can hit us up on Twitter as well, at Lennox on Baseball. What'd you think of Adam Wainwright and what he thought of Brian Bayo and the Red Sox on Saturday night? And then David Cohn and Eduardo Perez, Sunday Night Baseball with Carl Ravitch in the booth. What'd you think of David Cohn? We've seen David Cohn and Eduardo Perez in the booth before for Sunday Night Baseball with the Red Sox playing. But what'd you think of them? What do you think of their assessments? What'd you think of Buster Olney talking about the Red Sox and where they're at right now, less than 2 weeks away from the trade deadline? Again, hit us up in the comments section, Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Also, you can leave comments for us as well that we can use in the future on future Locked On Red Sox postcasts. At Lennox on Baseball is the X or Twitter handle that you can use as well if you're with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel or listening to it on the podcast as well. But the Red Sox fall 9-6 the final, swept in a 3-game series. But the hitters in the lineup, 14 strikeouts. It's starting to get a little nerve-wracking to a certain degree. And I mentioned Rafael Devers did not have a good series. With Devers, does a day off help? With Devers, is that shoulder barking? We're going to get into some injuries with the Red Sox. You're never going to know the complete story. And we still don't know the complete story on Tristan Casas. To that in a few minutes. But Red Sox hitters, 14 strikeouts in a game. Feast or famine, 2nd inning through the 8th inning. You finally get 3 runs after you got 2 runs in the first 3 pitches of the game against Paxton early on. Gotta be adjustments. Chasing pitches above the letters. Chasing breaking balls down low. And it's a lot of the time, it's the same swings. And seeing some of these at-bats where the adjustments aren't being made, where there's 2 strikes on a hitter, and they continuously foul balls off. Right-handed hitters hitting foul balls, pop-ups in foul territory, out of play down the first base side. Same for lefty batters down the third base side. Not making the right adjustments at the plate. From at-bat to at-bat, from pitch to pitch. The pitcher-catcher, they're making adjustments. They've got scouting reports. You've got scouting reports as a hitter on a pitcher. And I'm not trying to lay claim to being a hitting instructor, but I've seen enough bad swings. I've seen bad approaches at the plate over the years. Red Sox sometimes will lull you away. I was always enamored with Johnny Damon. Damon could absolutely look just absolutely beaten. Maybe he was guessing on a pitch and just fooled, and a horrible swing. Next pitch, the very next pitch, good, hard, solid contact and a base hit. A home run from time to time for Johnny Damon. He was great at that. Looking foolish on one pitch, next pitch, base hit. Hard, solid contact. Before all the talk of exit velocity and having that immediately. Johnny Damon knew when he hit the ball hard, when he barreled it up. But there just doesn't seem to be a lot of adjustments. And the 14 strikeouts, Tyler O'Neill, for me right now, biggest out on the limb observation in the time doing this with the Locked On Red Sox postcast on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts as well. Tyler O'Neill needs to move down in the lineup. I'm not talking behind Rafael Devers because he's not protection in that case. You could work around Devers. You see them from time to time working around Rafael Devers. But Tyler O'Neill, for me, he's got to move down in the lineup. It used to be if you batted him second, and they have in recent weeks, and they have on occasion this year, if you bat him second, Duran gets on in front of him, you're going to see more fastballs. It's not the case anymore. Leadoff man aboard, number 2 hitter up there, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see more fastballs. You could still see a lot of off-speed stuff. So a tough one, especially the fact that the Red Sox bats do come alive in that 9th inning against the bullpen. But they just don't come through. 9-6 loss. So, again, swept for the 3rd time this season. Dropped 3 in a row. 8 games over 500. And now 53-45 on the season. Lost 3 in a row on the road. April and May on 2 separate series combined. And then lost 4 straight on the road, which they'll try to avoid that mark with Game 1 against the Rockies on Monday night in Denver. And if you think, okay, the Rockies, they're a bad team, they are a bad team. But you know what? You can leave that series and depart from Denver and head back to Boston on Wednesday. You might take 2 out of 3, but your pitching is going to get taxed in Denver. It just is. The Rockies team, even though they've got a dreadful record this year, one of the worst records in baseball, you're going to go in there. It's not going to be a cakewalk by any stretch of the imagination. So Red Sox swept at home back in April at Fenway against the Orioles, swept in a 2-game series in May. In Atlanta against the Braves, swept for the 3rd time this season. 5 for 39 in the series with runners in scoring position. I know I'm beating the drum there. But 5 for 39 against the first-place team, top-tier division team in the Dodgers, and leaving 25 runners on base in 3 games, honestly, it's not going out on a limb here to say that the Red Sox should be going to Denver with a 3-game series sweep on the winning end. But it did not happen. Hey, we're just after the All-Star break. A lot of baseball to be played, right? But you know what's also starting up here? Patriots training camp. Pats training camp underway this week. First preseason game just a few weeks away. And you can keep up with the Patriots and everything Patriots related on the Locked On Sports Network with Mike DeBate and Locked On Patriots. Mike has every Patriots storyline covered for you Monday through Friday. Locked On Patriots, part of the Locked On Sports Boston Network. Locked On Sports Boston, your team every day. Coming up, I've got what I think are some interesting notes on Jarren Duran and also a what might have been for a brand new Hall of Famer when it comes to playing for both the Dodgers and the Red Sox organization. That's next. Our Locked On Sports Red Sox postcast is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on Prize Picks, just you against the numbers. All you have to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the Prize Picks community today. Now, you can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. If you are looking for promotions, Prize Picks does have you covered every week. From lowering select player snap projections on Tuesdays to help you hit with your lineup or getting your entry fee back if you have a losing lineup on Friday. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Sox fall in Los Angeles, swept in the 3-game series over the weekend by the Dodgers, dropped the finale 9-6 on Sunday night. Our Locked On Red Sox postcast also brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, patience. The formula for winning championships, also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED lights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered with over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die. You'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back, because with eBay Motors, you are burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it is easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. So the Red Sox drop a tough one against the Dodgers. 6 home runs allowed by Kutter Crawford, who gave up 5 solo home runs, and Kenley Jansen gave up a big 2-out, 2-run home run to Jason Hayward just off the IL over the last couple of days in the 8th inning. That made it 9-3. Sox 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning against the Dodgers bullpen, and the Red Sox do fall short. We want to acknowledge our everydayers for making Locked On Red Sox and the Locked On Red Sox postcast their first listen. So, Rob Refsnyder, not sure what the injury was, but he was a late scratch prior to Sunday's finale against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. So, Alex Cora had to adjust the lineup accordingly against James Paxton. Again, 2 batters in, it was 2-0 Red Sox, and you were thinking, and this is a game. Dodger Stadium, series finale, backs to the wall. You want to win it to avoid the series sweep. This was a game that I was thinking about all day leading up to that 7:10 first pitch, 7:10 Eastern time from Dodger Stadium, and 2-0 early on in the game. You're thinking, all right, get to their bullpen early, because their bullpen bent and almost broke a couple of times. But both Friday and Saturday, they allowed the offense to catch up late. They gave up runs on Saturday, but after the 1 run on Friday night, the grand slam by Freddie Freeman, the bullpen for the Dodgers right now was looking pretty good. And they got a lot of pieces, including Clayton Kershaw and Mookie Betts coming back in the next week and the next couple of weeks as well. So Rob Refsnyder was a late scratch. Not sure what the injury was with Refsnyder. Vaughn Grissom, check this out on the internet. AAA on Sunday with the team in Worcester, Mass. And had a base hit, a double and a run batted in against Lehigh Valley, the Iron Pigs in the International League. And, hey, Grissom coming back from a hamstring strain. It's been a lost season so far. Rehab assignment started Saturday. I don't think he's going to need the entire rehab assignment, but perhaps you're looking at the back end of the upcoming homestand. Starts next Friday with the Yankees in town. But it'll be interesting to see if Vaughn Grissom can get back in there. Then you have to make other moves as well. And he's not going to play every single day right off the bat. Play him at second, get him off his feet, DH him, just like he's done over the last couple of days at the AAA level. But that might be a right-handed bat. Hey, Grissom right now, he's due, right? He's due to play the rest of the season. You see what you get with him. If he can come in and contribute, you can get that bat in there. Red Sox are in a pretty good situation. Could you platoon Grissom and Hamilton at second base, right, left? We'll see. Tristan Casas, some tweets. Buster Only had it, Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Now it's the possibility of Tristan Casas not being in the big leagues until September. There's more to this story. I'm not going deep down the road on this one because we've touched on it before. But there's more to this story with Tristan Casas. And I haven't heard a lot of fans clamoring about it. But with him doing the other things away from the field and his quirkiness, I'm wondering where that's going to stand with Red Sox fans going forward. Posed this earlier. What did you think of the analysts? Not the play-by-play guys over the last couple of days, Joe Davis, Fox, Carl Ravitch, ESPN, but the analysts, Adam Wainwright, Fox, David Cohn, Eduardo Perez, when it came to them talking about the Red Sox. Now, we get back to NESN Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Denver against the Rockies. I'm not sure who Dave O'Brien's going to be working with. Perhaps Kevin Youkilis, who was on the opener Friday night on NESN. But different. I thought Adam Wainwright was sort of gaga over Brian Bayo, and I think they even alluded to, hey, Wainwright has watched all of his starts this year via tape. Maybe a couple live on TV, maybe a couple in person, I don't know. but probably on tape and doing his homework. And I like Adam Wainwright as an analyst on Fox. He's going to do a terrific job. He's prepared, just like every single Red Sox analyst on NESN. They're always prepared. I always learn something from them. I always learn something from David Cohn, former Red Sox pitcher. I learned things from Eduardo Perez. Although Eduardo Perez went down the road on what he wants to do with the home run derby in the future during the All-Star break, I think with what he wants to do, and he confused me a couple of times, the home run derby would last 2.5 days. Just saying that. Kudos to Carl Ravitch. First time I've heard anyone reference David Hamilton and his injury at Texas. Now, back in 2019, I had the absolute pleasure of going down from Connecticut for the ESPN network, for the Longhorn Network, to do some Longhorn baseball. And Hamilton was in his final year before his draft year, in 2019. Did not play at all that year for the Longhorns in the Big 12. Had an accident with a scooter. Austin is a big city with scooters. And I may have shared this before here, but Carl Ravitch had the story. And he basically pretty much took care of his Achilles with that injury. Was on a scooter. In fact, the first time I saw him on a scooter, I went down there and worked with Greg Swindell, former big league pitcher, former Longhorn great, on what was their alumni game. And the Rocket, Roger Clemens, and his son, forget which one right now, Cody, I believe, Roger threw the first inning. And Hamilton was on that little motorized scooter. And knowing that he was going to be out for the entire season. But Carl Ravitch had that note. First time I've heard anyone use that story. And it was a good one. Cedar Rafaela mic'd up Sunday Night Baseball. Early on in the game, Carl Ravitch brought up his middle name, Chipper. His mom was a big Chipper Jones fan. Cedar Rafaela, we know from Curacao, same as Andrew Jones. And his mom was a big Chipper Jones fan. So Joe Davis and Adam Wainwright actually had that on Saturday on the Fox broadcast. But Carl Ravitch continued with the story on Sunday as well. Want to get into this one. So Hall of Fame weekend wrapping up on Sunday in Cooperstown, New York. Red Sox play-by-play announcer Joe Castiglione honored Saturday in Cooperstown with the Ford C. Frick Award, and Joe Castig now in Cooperstown and in the Hall of Fame. But here's a what might have been, and this was great timing for me. What might have been for the Dodgers or the Red Sox in two different ways. Sunday, Jim Leyland, Joe Mauer, Todd Helton, Adrian Beltre, all inducted into the Hall of Fame with the ceremony taking place in Cooperstown, New York on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. And again, perfect timing for me. Put it on the MLB Network. Boom. Adrian Beltre is going to start his speech. I did not realize until I saw it on X and videos, Big Papi, David Ortiz, was behind the stage, snuck out at the perfect time, and got a little head touch for Adrian Beltre, who absolutely hates, for some reason or another, hates having his head touched. And I laughed almost uncontrollably on a couple of occasions this week, watching videos from Adrian Beltre during his time in the big leagues, whether he's in the dugout or at first base, and an opposing player would come up and kind of hit him on the head, even though he had his hat on. And he would get downright angry and go after guys and swipe at them. And they're just funny videos. So Big Papi, being Big Papi, David Ortiz, got him just before his speech. Didn't react like he did as a player, understanding where he was. But that was just a great moment. And who else but Big Papi in that situation? Anyone else, maybe Adrian Beltre would have been a little bit more upset, but it was Big Papi. And he probably knew to a certain degree that at some point, Big Papi's going to do something like that. But what a speech by Adrian Beltre. And as he was talking, I really started thinking about this. By the way, his English, terrific. And I truly loved when he spoke to Spanish-speaking people from Latin America, from the Dominican, and he spoke for a time in Spanish, thanking people in Spanish. That was outstanding. But with Beltre, how about it? Played with the Dodgers, came up with the Dodgers organization, right? Signed as a teenager, a little over 20 years ago with the Dodgers organization. Beltre left the Dodgers in free agency after 7 seasons. And after a terrific age 25 season in his final year with the Dodgers organization, and signed with the Mariners. 5 years with Seattle, signed a 1-year, $9 million deal with the Red Sox. And at the time I looked it up, his agent Scott Boras called it a pillow contract, meaning we're signing him for 1 year. He's going to reestablish himself, then he'll get a big deal. Well, in 2010, he had a big year for the Red Sox. What if Adrian Beltre was one of those guys who played his entire career with one organization? How much more of a Hall of Famer is he? And deserving, absolute Hall of Famer. But after he left the Red Sox and went to the Texas Rangers, that's where he really solidified himself as a Hall of Famer. But that pillow contract, the 1-year deal with the Red Sox for 2010, where he hit 321, had 49 doubles, 28 home runs, 102 RBIs. I've got those numbers right here in front of me. I did not memorize them. But that year in 2010 was also his first year as an all-star at the big league level. Goes to the Rangers. Again, I think over those 8 seasons with Texas, he surely solidified himself over that time as a Hall of Famer. No doubt about it. But imagine if we were talking about Adrian Beltre, like Cal Ripken Jr., Joe Mauer, who went in on Sunday, one team for his entire career. Imagine if we were talking about him after that 2010 season, re-signing a long-term deal with the Red Sox organization. Now, I did not go back and look at a lot of those things with how it was just a 1-year deal, but as Scott Boras called it, it was a pillow contract. Teoscar Hernandez, to a certain degree, we've heard over the last couple of days, hey, Teoscar Hernandez thought about and was flirting with the Red Sox. Didn't work out last offseason. He's going to be a free agent again next offseason. And I don't count the Home Run Derby championship as part of his resume this year. That's like winning the slam dunk contest. It's on the resume, but it might be the final line on the resume. That doesn't get him another year on his contract next offseason. Doesn't get him a couple of more $1 million added onto that contract as well. But he's having a very good season for the Dodgers. And you kind of cringe over the last couple of days saying, geez, that's exactly what the Red Sox needed. Turner could have come back. Teoscar Hernandez could have signed, could have had him locked up for a couple of years. He would have done nothing but help this ball club. Teoscar Hernandez, Justin Turner, just guys that have that ability. But imagine Adrian Beltre, one team, LA Dodgers over the course of his career, or signing after that 2010 season, his only season in Boston, and re-signing with the Red Sox, and perhaps going the next 5-6 years with the Red Sox and being part of the organization in some way. Thought about that. And to a certain degree, Kenley Jansen, if he does go in the Hall of Fame, and I do think he's a Hall of Famer, he ends up going in as a member of the Dodgers organization. That will make sense. To close out, I want to just add this, because if you're honest with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, I would like part of a conversation here, because I'm looking for this. And if you're on our podcast and listening over the next day or so, thank you very much. We continue to build our podcast audience. Love to see the analytics. Love to see the numbers continuing to build there as well. Hey, word of mouth advertising is the best. If you like what we're doing with the podcast, pass it along to your friends. But this is what I'm looking for, just to close out here. I'd love to speak with someone as an expert, or as them being the expert, or has great knowledge of Baseball Hall of Fame speeches over the years. There are short videos out there of these speeches, and I watch a lot of them. But I want to know someone who has a real deep, in-depth knowledge of Hall of Fame speeches. Maybe someone was left out of a speech, controversial speeches, just straight out great speeches along the way. Would love that. Now, again, think of Kenley Jansen. I'm on record over the last couple of weeks on the Locked On Red Sox postcast. He's going to be a Hall of Famer down the road. Beltre goes in as a member of the Texas Rangers. Kenley Jansen probably goes in as a member of the Dodgers organization. But a tip of the cap to the Hall of Famers who are recognized and inducted in the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York over the weekend, including Red Sox broadcaster Joe Castiglione. Hey, I'm not scoreboard watching, but I am scoreboard watching. Sox swept in a 3-game series in Los Angeles, losing the finale Sunday night 9-6. 6 home runs allowed by Kutter Crawford and Kenley Jansen. On Sunday, the Orioles lost. The Rays beat the Yankees. The Royals won. The Astros lost. And the Twins lost. That's our scoreboard update right there. This segment's going very long. Bear with me. Notes on Jarren Duran. You know what? We're going to give notes and numbers of the night on Jarren Duran on the other side. That is our tease as we'll close up and look ahead to Denver and Coors Field in a 3-game series that gets underway against the Rockies for the Red Sox on Monday. I have Jarren Duran notes that I think you're going to like, and I'll get to those in just a moment. Hey, our Locked On Red Sox postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Hey, I love sports. I love them so much. I never really want them to stop. Watched a lot of baseball this weekend. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer games. The sports are not sportsing like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want, whenever you want. All we have to do is open the app, dream up bets, anytime that we are in the mood. This summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers, first-timers, repeat customers, loyal customers, with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day all summer long. So head over to FanDuel.com. Start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Right now, FanDuel, this is updated, has the Red Sox plus 4,500 to win the World Series. Look this one up. Sox plus 8,000 to beat the Dodgers in the World Series. Rafael Devers was plus 370 to hit a home run on Sunday. That did not cash in. Tyler O'Neill was plus 300 to homer on Sunday, and they combined for a lot of strikeouts in the middle of that Red Sox lineup on Sunday as they were swept, combining to go 0 for 8 with 6 strikeouts. Most nights that is not going to get it done. Again, FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. All right, so we are going a little bit longer than we normally do. Our numbers of the night, let's just give you Jarren Duran. So Jarren Duran. 2-run double in the 9th inning. Jarren Duran. 2-run home run in the 1st inning. 2 extra base hits, again, 4 RBIs in the series finale. He's been the offense. I really got to see if I have these right. So Duran, double home run, solo home run in game 1, 2 hits. Jarren Duran, now 52 extra base hits on the season in 98 games, right? Terrific series against the Dodgers. He was really, in many ways, part of the offense. Now 9 games this year with multi-extra base hit games. Admittedly, I updated these numbers not thinking that Duran was going to get an at-bat with 2 runners on base in the 9th inning. He delivered. So I'm going to take a little time here. By the way, the Red Sox losing both games of the series against the Dodgers where he homered Friday night in the opener, Sunday in the finale. 7-5 now when Duran hits a home run. By the way, the home run that he hit, 12 now on the season, the 2-run shot in the first, his first home run of the season with at least 1 man on base. The first 11 home runs of the season for Jarren Duran, solo shots. How about this one? Jarren Duran leads Major League Baseball with 10 triples. As you know, it's been a while. His last triple, I looked it up for you, June 9th in Chicago against the White Sox. 32 games now without a triple. That's through Sunday. Still leads Major League Baseball with 10 triples on the season. It's been over a month since he collected his 10th triple of the season, and he still leads the majors in that category. I posed it in June, over a month ago. 70 extra base hits on the season for Jarren Duran. He's now got 52 through the first, 98 games of the season. Numbers of the night, all for Jarren Duran. Not even going to look down at my other sheet. Steve Lennox with you, Locked On Red Sox Postcast, part of the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Numbers of the night, all including Jarren Duran for the Red Sox. I really want to give you one more. Can I give you one more? I'm going to give you one more. 25. David Hamilton now has 25 stolen bases on the season. Lucky to pick up a stolen base of second early on in the 2nd inning. His speed made that one work out. They almost threw a ball away on a pickoff attempt. He then stole 3rd base. Hard to ask the question, will David Hamilton steal 50 bases this year? Not likely. Vaughn Grissom comes back and can play second base. Again, I posed it earlier. Maybe there's a platoon there at second base. Grissom, the right-handed batter, Hamilton, the left-handed batter. So not likely that he's going to get 50 stolen bases, although right now he's halfway there with 25 on the season to lead the club. But can he reach 40 stolen bases? 15 more in the season? I say absolutely. Now, here's one for you. It's only happened 10 times in franchise history where a Red Sox player has had 40 or more stolen bases in a single season. It's been done 10 times by 6 different players. Jacoby Ellsbury, his name is all over that list as well. So, Red Sox lose all 3 in Los Angeles. It's not really a meat grinder of a road trip, but it is a meat grinder of a road trip because now you go to Denver. And don't think this is going to be easy, folks, because it's just not. And if it is, and if they somehow win all 3 games, hey, take 2 out of 3. That's what you want in a series. But if we're talking Wednesday night after a day game at Coors Field with Nick Pivetta on the mound in the finale, and they've taken all three, all right. But the bullpen's going to be taxed. The starters are going to be taxed in this series, and you better answer when they score. And you better score when you have those opportunities. Because basically when a batter's at the plate at Coors Field, we all know they're in scoring position. Tanner Houck against left-hander Austin Gomber in the series opener at Coors Field Monday night. First pitch, 8:40 p.m. Eastern. Houck, first outing since the All-Star break. 8-6 record, fourth best ERA in the major leagues right now, 2.54 whip, just over 1. Gomber, 2-6, 4.61 ERA. 4.61 ERA when Coors Field is your home ballpark, it's really not horrible. He's given up 18 home runs this year in just under 100 innings of work. He's walked 25, struck out 67. So the walk total you can live with, he's not a strikeout pitcher. Red Sox can put the ball in play. Let's see if the Red Sox, who have been striking out way too much over the last month or so, let's see if they can put the ball in play against Gomber, the lefty, on Monday in the series opener. Gomber had a strong May, but got hit around a whole bunch in June, and the Rockies lost all 5 of his outings in June, and the team 7-11 on the season in his first 18 starts. He's given up 2 or more home runs on 5 different occasions this year. Again, Sox going with Tanner Houck in the opener. TBA for Game 2 of the series on Tuesday. Right-hander German Marquez will go for the Rockies in Game 2. Nick Pivetta in the finale in a day game in Denver on Wednesday. He'll go up against right-hander Cal Quantrill. Scheduled pitchers, probable pitchers. Cal Quantrill could be moved by the Rockies. I don't know if it's by Wednesday, but he could be a scratch if they're talking to some teams about him, and maybe he's moved by the weekend. But Quantrill right now is the probable starter for the finale for the Rockies on Wednesday. 9-6 the final. 3 runs in the 8th inning. 5 home runs given up by losing pitcher Kutter Crawford after going 15 innings without allowing a run over his previous 2+ starts. And Jason Hayward had the big home run against Kenley Jansen in the 9th inning. Dodgers take all 3 games against the Red Sox. The Red Sox in the air going to Denver. And Alex Cora, his coaching staff, the players, everyone can be thinking, hey, we really did have an opportunity to take all 3 games in that series. Our Locked On Red Sox postcast does follow each and every Red Sox game all season long. We do thank you for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Also live on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel within minutes of the last out of each and every Red Sox game. We'll be on with you within minutes of the last out of Game 1 of the 3-game series between the Sox and the Rockies from Coors Field in Denver on Monday night. Locked On Sports Boston, your number one place to hang out immediately following every game. Locked On Sports, your team every day.